Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Rome Let's Play, where, as you can see, we've made some significant progress on the southern wall. In fact, it's basically done. The only thing that isn't finished is this little piece right here that I'm using as sort of a makeshift door at the moment, and then there might be spots that are missing roofs. I think this is and this is. And then we need to wall off this part, but we've actually made pretty significant progress on the western wall as well. Now, we're being raided, hence why I decided to pick up the recording here. It hasn't been too long after the end of last episode. I'm still in the same sitting, but I've been playing for probably an hour just to obviously grind out the wall production stuff. And I also started our controlled burn over here again. We were lucky enough to actually finish it this time before the rain started, but obviously the rain kind of kept it from getting the edges. Not a big deal. However, I noticed that we were already getting stuff growing back in. So you can see I've basically just asked for gravel to get dumped on this whole section, hoping that the gravel will slow down the growth of anything in here and keep this as a nice open kill zone. Now then, excuse me, back to the raid. So this is a little bit interesting. They're over here somewhere. I keep losing track of them. There they are. These guys are from, what faction was that? The Black Fiends. They're actually a pirate faction, and as you can see, some of them have firearms. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to defeat them anyways. If I was really concerned about keeping this roleplay friendly, I guess I could go in the dev tools and just delete them every time they spawn a raid so that we don't see this type of stuff here. But I'm hoping to resolve this through more legitimate in-game means. So what I'd like to do is defeat them, capture them. If there's any worth keeping, we'll keep them, but otherwise we'll heal them and cut them loose, and ideally, well, I don't know if we can actually do that with the pirates. I think they're permanently hostile. But we can try to basically heal enough of their people to make them friendly to the point where they won't raid us anymore, and just kind of make them irrelevant in this playthrough. If that doesn't work, then I will resort to using the dev tools to kind of fix this. I don't know if I can defeat the faction on the world map through dev tools, but that's something I could try just to make sure that they're no longer really a player and therefore aren't popping in with guns and stuff. But for now, I figured we'd go ahead and do this because this particular raid is not very bad. They've got a couple of stun guns, I think like 2 pistols, some Molotov cocktails, which I feel like as a Roman, I mean, I don't know if they would have the technology, or maybe not the technology. I don't know if they'd have necessarily the know-how, but they could probably fashion up something similar. So that doesn't bother me too much, but I'm not going to use any of these weapons, obviously. We'll just smelt them for the raw materials or whatever. Or just sell them if anybody comes by to trade, which so far hasn't really happened at all. Anyways, we'll get to battle stations in just a moment. I'm going to let these guys get a bit closer so my people don't have to spend all day hanging out in the western wall barricade type of thing. Although they might end up hitting the southern wall. Oh, okay. Somebody just walked in and joined us. What timing? Turtle. From, the Roman Expedition. Well, now, because we're the Roman Expedition. Are you any good, Turtle? Great memory, brawler, and kind. Yeah, the problem is I can't give her a ranged weapon. She'll get all upset about it. But she's got a lot of potential with ranged weapons. I guess I'm still happy to have her. So she's going to run down there and join us. She's just got a knife right now. But that was interesting. I guess the game felt bad for throwing guns at me. Anyway, we are going to have to make do with whatever we've got here. You might want to get that infant back inside. I don't think I can tell you what to do. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're going to go, I don't know, just hide out indoors. And we'll set up along the wall. I do have one crossbow set up here. What I've decided to do is I'm putting one on either side of the gate because these fire relatively fast and they're short range. The ballista, on the other hand, fire much slower, and they have a minimum range. So at the gate, they're a little bit less effective because we want to be able to shoot the enemy even if they're right here. I did test fire this one briefly. It actually has a massive range. In fact, you can see that it can hit even the most extreme corners of this map. So these are going to be quite useful, but they do require ammo. The ammo is fairly cheap though. Each stone chunk that you cut gives you 10 stones to shoot. So I've just been cutting up. I think I asked for like 5 granite blocks, or 5 granite chunks to get cut. And so we got 50 stones, and I fired a couple of them at a bear that was out here somewhere. But yeah, the range is pretty good, and there's a small explosive effect on this. So in theory, we could have somebody jump on this and actually start firing it at those guys. And I suppose that wouldn't be such a terrible idea. The question is, who are we going to ask to do that? Loka's the only one over there, and I'd rather have her bow close by. How are you at shooting? But your bow would also be useful. I'm guessing you can't do it? No. Okay. Incapable of violence. Only for right now, though. She won't be when she grows up. That's disappointing. I would have loved to throw the infant on it. Maybe Tanya, then. Or... I wish somebody was closer. Hilda. Let's ask you, since you're actually a decent shot, but you don't have the weaponry right now to do that. I'm going to ask her to pick up like 6 of these. And then we're going to send her over there. Meanwhile, let's draft our legionnaires and call them up to the gate. I'm going to put Loka here, I think. Tanya, I'm actually going to have you be the one that mans the crossbow over here since you're pretty close. Felix is not really one for ranged combat, so he's not going to be of much help. Let's get you guys over here. Ashura, I'll call over there as well. Dante, probably best to just leave you inside. I should get him training on range skill though, because he has potential. Italia is going to go there. Let's get you over here. Polar Bear. Go over there as well. Artemis, let's put you on one of those. You guys are going to go here. This time I'm actually going to keep our people inside the gate. I'm not going to push them outside like we did last time. I think we took more damage than we needed to by doing that. But we'll see how this plays out. One thing I will have to do regardless... there they are. Is, these are still traversable, so we're going to have to put legionnaires in those to block it. So I think Constantine and Aetius can block those. It makes more sense to put them there because they can do both ranged and melee combat, so they're not completely useless standing there. Meanwhile, the rest of these guys can hold down the gate for us. Actually, Stilicho should be behind. Gogwa, dismount please. And I wish... we need to get more Pila. But for now, we'll do something like that. And let's put you there, because we can't actually attack on diagonals, so having a third person there will actually help. And it looks like... are you opening up on them? No, not yet. But I think they are going to attack the western gate. And we should see them coming into range any moment. Loka, I need you to dismount that horse. And do you think you could finish that wall really quickly? You know what? I'm going to ask Stilicho to do it. Because he is not immediately going to be able to contribute to the fight. And he also is a much better builder. Dante, you probably want to... wait, what did I just do? Probably going to want to stay inside there, bud. Alright, so we're hitting Phoenix. Probably could have used more bows up there. Oh, they just threw a Molotov at the building. The wooden building. Stand here and put that out. Okay. I wish there was like a half speed for when we're fighting. But it looks like they're just going to Molotov the crap out of that building. That's kind of concerning. I'm guessing... yeah, we're out of range. Alright then. Guess it's time to charge. Send out the legionnaires. Crap. Felix, be very careful. over there. Try to get that one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you guys are charging in. Epicus, gonna need you to help with that as well. At least they're too busy throwing Molotovs at the building to attack us. Crap, that one hit. Silico, I need you fighting. You guys should probably get in there as well. That guy's got a knife. We should probably be able to win that. That guy's got nothing. So let's do you two on him. Aetius, you're gonna solo that guy. Oh wait, sorry. Constantine's gonna solo the one without a weapon. You two are gonna double up there. You guys can trade shots with Mr. Stun Gun. And it looks like the two guys over here are just gonna kind of run around in circles. So we'll let them keep shooting, I guess. Alright. Let's see how this plays out. I need you putting fires out. You get over here. Actually, get the one on the crops. Attack, please. Don't stand around. That guy's shooting a pistol at you point blank. You kind of need to fight him. Okay. Yeah, don't stand around. Don't stand around. Red, get over there. Silico, get over here. I guess, yeah, throw Pila. That's fine, too. You guys are still shooting. They're starting to flee. Alright, so we beat them. Question now is, can we run down... I think there's only 3 that got away, potentially. Could get away, I guess, is a better way to phrase that. But there are a few that are down and could potentially be captured. Felix, I'm going to ask you to put that fire out. Let's get you over there to deal with that turtle. Thank you. And Dante, go there and do this one, I guess. Right. Red. Got some bruises, but nothing too bad. Polar Bear, how are you doing? Just some bruises. More bruises. You are in pretty nasty shape, so you need to go get yourself tended to. That is Kaibo. Where is your bed, Kaibo? There it is. You know what? This will be easier. Kaibo, fake down. Then Tanya, or... You know what? You can do it. Somebody can do it. You were just bruised, right? You're going to rescue him, and that'll take him to his bed, and it should get him treatment a little bit faster. Are there any horses nearby? There are. Why don't you mount up and then go after... We have Matvey here, who's pretty good. Aiko, who is not as good, but not terrible. And then Z, who is, again, not as good, but not terrible. And then there's obviously the wounded, but I'm not super concerned about that right now. Red, you were pretty healthy, right? Go ahead and mount up and go after Z. Did I give you a second order? No. Okay, go after that person. And unfortunately, I don't have a third horse nearby to go after Aiko. But I'd like to go after all of them. I don't know who would be able to run them down, though. What's your injury? Movement is 88, so probably still going to outpace us. But I can try to catch them on foot and send Red... Let's see, Red. Why is this being stupid? Cannot mount animal busy. Great, so I bugged it. Alright. Mount the horse, and then go after Aiko, who is healthy. Ah, crap. Why is this so difficult? Okay. Mount horse, go after Aiko. Hopefully they can catch them. We will see. So that's taken care of. We have people dying. And I think I will probably just try to capture all of them. Because again, I can cut them loose if I don't want to keep them. And that will allow me to maybe gain a bit of relation with this faction. So Polar Bear, if you would be so kind, capture our friend there. Stilicho, capture Vivian. It looks like there's someone standing underneath Stilicho, so I'll ask Turtle to capture that one. Felix, go ahead and get yourself patched up. Constantine, go ahead and capture Boss there. Okay, Aetius, I guess you're going to get Matt. We might be running out of space, but there's also Kenzo here, who we should probably grab. I'll ask Loka to do that. Yeah, we're out of beds. Okay, let's make more beds. Put one there. Hell, put one here, it doesn't matter. Okay, Loka, capture. And I will allow all of their weaponry to get picked up. So that, again, we can smelt it or do whatever we need to do. Okay, so you're off in that direction. Are you going to catch Z? It doesn't look like it. Red might be able to get them. I don't think we're going to catch that one either. No. Okay. As you were. Red will get Ico, but that's going to be it. Gogwa, you can go back. Actually, was Z better? Kind of. Younger and a little bit better. Alright, Red, see if you can get Z. Z's further from the exit of the map and injured already, so we might have a better chance. Nope. Just got a little burst of speed through the brush there, and it looks like we're not going to quite... Oh, we did it. Okay. Come on, Red. You got this. Perfect. Didn't kill her either. Alright, go ahead and capture. Sweet. Time to triage. We have people that are injured. One of them was like dying. You were. Vivian also dying. Matt dying. Yeah, they're kind of all dying. So I'm going to need some people that are proficient in treatment. You're running over there to treat somebody. I guess that's fine. I need... Who was it? Ashura to come tend to these guys. We're just going to say no medicine. They need to get the bleeding stopped before anything else. I'm not going to say no to Vivian because the medicine's already on the way. Or at least I think it is. So Ashura, come over here please. Why is it not letting me... Ashura, doctoring 1. So what is your deal right now? Oh, you're drafted. Of course. Okay, go tend to them please. You are hanging around. You guys can go back to whatever you want to do. I think that's everybody. Nobody should be drafted. Perfect, okay. So that went pretty well, I think, especially since they were shooting pistols at us. Modern pistols, no less. But obviously, we're going to want to try to find a solution to that so we can have a little bit more historically friendly playthrough than what we've experienced so far. Okay, so Vivian is sort of taken care of. Again, I'm going to say no medicine there just so that bleeding gets stopped faster. But as soon as Vivian's... Oh god, are you really treating like bruises right now? Come on, Dante, be smarter than that. Oh, Boss, I forgot about Boss. Okay, well, it looks like... What's her face? Tanya did not forget, so that's good. Let's make sure our own people are doing okay. Kaibo's still bleeding to death, and nobody's treating him. Great. Who can do medicine? Aetius can. Yeah, Aetius, I'm going to need your help here, bud. Because you are not the best, but capable. So I need you to run over there and tend to him, please. Medicine's fine. We just need to make sure he stops bleeding as soon as possible. Alright, then Z was just delivered. Z is also bleeding really bad. Apparently we hacked off several of her toes. It's unfortunate. I'm going to let Red get back to whatever she was doing. Again, we'll say no medicine there. And figure it out from that point. Interestingly, even with all these prisoners, we're still doing pretty well on food. I didn't really get a chance to show you guys the new kitchen, but here it is. I'm actually going to pause because I don't want anybody to bleed to death while I'm explaining stuff. Here's the new kitchen. I mean, it was here a little bit last episode, but we finally kind of finished it for the most part. So I've got 2 fueled stoves, cranking out simple meals. I've got it set so they'll cook up to 40, which is exactly enough to fill these shelves, and then they'll stop until I think it drops to about 30, and then they'll kick back on again. Our butcher's table is here. These are kitchen cupboards and sinks. The sink is obviously not very historically friendly, but I don't really care. It's not like they're actually using it for anything. It's just a little buff to cleanliness and work speed in here, and that's what these do as well. Though apparently this one doesn't quite reach, so I might need to move it. But that one's helping all 3 of those. This is helping all 3 of those. And in theory, this would be helping at least something, but it's too far away. So I might need to get rid of that, or I could build 2 of them. Well, I wouldn't build 2. I'd build 1 and move the other over here or something. Maybe even just move it right there like that. Yeah, we'll just do that. And that will, again, make them cook a little bit faster, but we're filling in these shelves. They've got places to sit and eat here, and we've got a nice ancient carpet making the whole room a little bit more pretty. And I'm hoping that we can get this chess table in so that they'll have a little bit of recreational activity in here as well. But that's our sort of main cantina, if you will. And then these buildings are not yet under construction because the walls are a higher priority. I also noticed that this is a larger building than this, so this whole thing is going to shift over, or not over, but it's going to expand down 1 tile, so this road is going to be 2 wide rather than 3 wide, and we'll just push everything to here instead so that they're equal. But I'm going to lay them out something like this. We need more living space. That's probably the biggest issue we have at the moment because we've had to double up a lot of these bedrooms. So these are going to be workspaces, but I'm also going to make them live-in workspaces. So for example, if this is like an art workshop, we'll put the sculptor's table in here and maybe have like a shelf with some materials for them to sculpt with. But the person who is our primary sculptor is going to also live in this building. And the same is going to be true for the other ones. I don't know what specifically we'll have them do. One of them will be like our research workshop, so there'll be living space on one half, and then it'll have our research bench in the other. Though I'm going to see if there are other research benches I can use. I'm hoping that, like in old style, I think there was one, or if not in old style, there's, yeah, right here actually. I don't know if this allows for the same research as that one, but I'm going to find out because I'd rather use the much smaller bench. But yeah, so we're going to have them half and half workspace, living space, and whoever is working on that bench will live in that little area. And so that should help a little bit, but even with those 4 additional beds, we're not going to have enough for everybody, so we're still going to be doubled up a little bit. And we'll have to figure it out from there. Okay, so I think everybody that we've just taken prisoner, with the exception of Z, has been sufficiently treated. By that I mean they've at least been given what is this baby doing? They've at least been treated to the point where all of their cuts are patched up. They're not actively bleeding anymore. They might have bruises and cracks that aren't treated, but those are not something that's going to obviously kill them, so they will be just fine. So basically they're all in stable condition at this point, except for Z, who is on her way to, actually I think she is stabilized at this point. So let's go through our new prisoners and see which ones are worth keeping and which ones are just going to be released as soon as they're healthy. So Katya is one of the new ones. She is a slowpoke that hates dumb labor, which is really unfortunate, because that gives a lot of utility to people that are otherwise potentially kind of useless. But it looks like she is a very, very good fighter. She's also really good with animals, and she has a lot of potential as a crafter. So she is somebody that could be quite useful. It's just unfortunate that she can't clean or haul or tend to people or really interact with them. But again, she still has some utility. Now, all of these characters should be much easier to recruit than their tribal counterparts. So after taking these guys in, if we decide to keep, X amount of them, we may want to consider cutting some of the tribals loose, because the tribals are going to be here for a very long time. But we're looking at 40% recruitment difficulty and 21 resistance. So she's going to join us pretty soon if we decide to go after her. And then we have Phoenix. Very neurotic, tough, and doesn't like drugs. Not much of a fighter, though could potentially become a decent one given time. But she is okay at mining, crafting, medical. Some utility, but not as much as some of the others that we've seen. A little bit harder to recruit as well, so she's kind of on the fence. Gallo and Blue were tribals, as was Bison. Matt is new. He's a spy, apparently. Nimble, depressive, and innocent. That's part of him being a child. So he'll probably pick up more traits as he gets older. It looks like he has potential with a bow. Not really much for melee, though. And maybe cooking and animals. But all in all, without a lot of passion, he's unfortunately not going to progress very quickly. I'm curious, do you have parents that are still alive? No. I was considering maybe cutting him loose so he could go back to his parents, but if he doesn't have parents, it almost seems like we should try to rescue him from this faction, from the pirates, before, they become an even worse influence on him. But it looks like he's going to be even harder to recruit. How about you, Z? They're rivals, by the way. Creepy breathing and masochist. It looks like she does have more potential, even though she is older. And if we look at her recruitment stuff, a little bit higher than most on the resistance, but pretty low in terms of difficulty. So I think she's a maybe. Boss is going to be one of the easier to recruit, and he is an incredible fighter. He's also... Wow, yeah. Okay, we're definitely taking him on. Unfortunately, he's never going to be keen on using ranged weapons, even though he's really good with them because of the brawler trait. That's a real bummer. But yeah, he's going to be easy to recruit, so we'll definitely go after him. Kenzo, another really good fighter. He's a abrasive pessimist, so not somebody that's going to be pleasant to have around the base, but somebody that can definitely hold his own in a fight. And not super difficult to recruit, so I guess we'll go after him too. Vivian, wow, a lot of potential. She's too smart and neurotic. So unfortunately what that means is she's going to learn and work really fast, but she's got a plus 20% overall to her mental break threshold. So she's going to have a lot of mental breaks, but she can contribute a lot of different facets. So I think she might be worth trying to go after, even though she might be a little bit of trouble. I think she's still worth it. So Matt, I think, is going to get cut loose. He's just too difficult to go after and doesn't really offer much. He's almost as difficult to recruit as some of the tribals, and the tribals so far have been noticeably better than he is. So I'm just going to mark him for release whenever he's able to move. Phoenix, did I decide on you? I don't believe I did. I mean, she is tough. That makes her a little bit more useful in melee combat, and she's not useless. So I think I will keep her around. We'll set her to work and recruit. And then Katya, I think I already decided we were taking you, right? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's that. I feel like there were more, but I guess that's it. So let's let them heal up a bit, and then I'm going to have to go through and decide on some of these tribals, because we have way too many prisoners right now. Alright, so Turtle's only been here a little while, but she's already proving herself pretty useful. I've had her crank out a couple of weapons for me. One recurve bow, And then it looks like she's got one Pila done. I'm sure she is, yeah, working on another right now. So we're going to go through and make sure that all of our people are equipped properly. Starting with, I guess, since Kaibo... Oh, he just got up. Okay. Oh, never mind. He's conscious. He's just doing that. I'm going to ask him to go pick that up. And actually, what I want him to do is equip it, because the Gladius should be the sidearm. I'll have to be careful, because anybody who's a brawler won't really be able to use the Pila. We can be a little bit coy with it and basically make it their sidearm, have them use it briefly, and then switch back to the Gladius. But they will still be upset about that. And if I remember testing it before, they're actually still going to have a problem carrying it as a sidearm. I guess we'll see. Maybe they fix that. But the idea is we want all of our frontline fighters to carry a Gladius and a Pila, and use the Pila until the enemy comes into, contact for melee, in which case they should automatically switch to the Gladius. And even if they're not great at throwing them, they don't need to be especially accurate when the enemy's 2 tiles away. I just want to make sure that they have something so that they're not strictly stuck fighting in melee combat. Now, there are people that, like him, are going to be completely useless with it, but I'd still prefer they have it, just in case. And again, we're going for at least a Roman-themed playthrough here, so it makes sense that all of our frontline sort of legionnaires would have those. Even pre-legionnaires, like Principes and stuff, would have had a throwing weapon. So Kaibo has his. Bilarar is going to be next, and he actually is somewhat proficient with them. Polar Bear will get one as well. Gogwa will get one. Red will get one. Hilda got a recurve bow, and then Turtle I think is going to have to be equipped like a legionnaire, just because she's a brawler. But I'm going to have to, again, probably make the Gladius her primary and have her carry the Pila as a secondary. And then we'll switch when she needs the Pila, but it's not going to work out ideally. I would have much rather made her an archer with her passion for it, but she apparently hates it, even though she's very passionate about it. I wish the game would kind of figure out situations like that, because it really doesn't make sense. There's certain things that should just be just like there's traits that conflict. I feel like there's certain skill trait combos that should conflict. Like the way Brawler works, I feel like it should maybe make you incapable of shooting. I feel like that would just be an easier solution than how it currently works, where yeah, you can shoot, they're just going to be pissed off the whole time. Oh, another elk self-tamed. That's actually our second elk that's self-tamed. I don't really have a desire to keep them though, so I'm just going to slaughter them both. That does remind me, these horses should be getting medical care. The dogs as well. I just took it off because sometimes they get bruised up, and there's really no reason to waste herbal medicine on a bruise. But then I forget about it, and we're treating them for serious injuries with no medicine. How are you doing, man? Immunity's hanging in there, but it's close. I think the issue is somebody's treating him without medicine, like one of the prisoners is treating him, and we kind of want to make sure that's not happening. But I'll have to do something about that. Let's chop these down. And I'm hoping that the gravel is sufficient in keeping this kind of clear. Again, I want this to be a big open kill zone, so that when the enemy comes out of the tree line, we'll have a very easy time hitting them, because there's not going to be anything to hide behind. Of course, that means all these chunks have to go too, but that's an easier fix. Okay, so it looks like Tanya is going to go in there and treat his infection, so yeah. should be much better quality than the last one. Hopefully that's enough to get the immunity to kind of pull away. As it is now, he will survive. It's just going to take him forever to get back on his feet. Yeah, she did a pretty good job there. Cool. I suppose let's snag somebody who can build, like you. Nope. Why did I think he could? I guess most of the legionnaires are decent builders. That's probably why. You're going to take Pushka to her crib. You know what? I'm not that worried about it right now. Can you come do this? He's on like babysitting duty because apparently babysitting requires a high social skill. And he is one of our higher... Or actually, no, I think it's intellectual. Yeah, I think it's intellectual. And since I need Dante to research... What are you doing right now, Dante? Oh, you're eating. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But since I need him researching, and I've got, you know, basically anybody with intellectual skill is also preoccupied doing something else. Stiligo is on babysitting duty and working on construction in the interim. So, as he clears that out of the way, we can start throwing down the walls that'll go in that place, and I should actually do the iron bars too. What is going on right now? The game keeps loading something. No, that should not be embrasures. That should just be regular walls. That'll be a doorway. And then regular walls. You get the idea. Okay, so that's been all laid out. I'm actually going to queue up another one of these as well. Oh, I actually can't. Oh no, it will let me do that. We'll get that out of the way. It's been pretty chilly on this map lately. I actually had to build campfires in all the houses just to make sure that they were warm enough because people were getting kind of upset that it was a little too chilly in their rooms. But anyways, they should be pretty comfortable now. We're actually expecting another infant too, now that I think about it. Ashura, right? Yeah, late stage. So we will have another infant soon. The reason why this is marked medical is because Pushka kept switching to that one, even though her parents are in this room. I don't know what that was about. But anyways, I've fixed it for the time being. So when the other infant comes, we'll just assign them to this bed, and then that will, you know, remove the issue entirely. Anyways, hopefully they can knock out this tower quickly, and then I'll have them tear down this bit of palisade and go ahead and open this up for construction. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm focusing on the exterior first, then worrying about the interior, because so long as the enemy can't get inside, that's all that really matters. So as long as we get this one done, this is just so that we can make it a little bit safer because, you know, for example, if somebody's standing here shooting in at somebody hiding behind the embrasure and they miss, that shot can continue and potentially hit somebody who's just like going about their business in the base. So that's why we have this wall here. It's effectively a backstop for any incoming fire. Also, it lets me make this an interior space. Not that that's super important, and in fact, technically it still isn't because of the embrasures. But anyways, you get the idea. Doing the exterior walls first, and then the interior ones. We still have one more tower to go as well, but we're almost done with all of the stone walls. At least the outer ones, then we'll do the inner, like those, and these here. And then do the floors, and then our walls are finished. Got another animal, self-tamed. This one's a muffalo. I actually have a few muffalo. And let's move them back to livestock. I think I'm going to keep them just because they're giving me wool on occasion. And I think milk too. So I don't see any reason not to keep them. Whereas like the elk don't really have the same benefits. And frankly, they're just competing with the horses as far as like grazing goes, so I figure probably better to just do away with them. It looks like the gravel is doing okay. Still got a ways to go, and then we're going to have to do another controlled burn over here. Alright, so I think that now's about a good time to wrap up the episode. I've obviously got some grinding to do in terms of, you know, getting this stuff built, continuing with the walls and producing more pila and armor and stuff like that. So I think that means I could probably cut here, and we'll pick back up with the more interesting stuff in the next episode. Before I do that, though, I wanted to address this little notification we've had here all episode, which is a Bandit Camp quest. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you guys whether or not we do this, because I do think we are entirely capable of handling it. There are 6 enemies. They will very likely have firearms. It's not going to tell us who this bandit camp belongs to. If we go to the map, we could potentially find out, but I don't want to load the map right now. So I'm guessing that they probably do have guns. Our reward is going to be a sub-persona core and a vanometric power cell. So 2 things that we won't be able to use in this playthrough. Therefore, I leave it up to you guys. Do we even bother with this? Or do we do it for the experience and bring the stuff back with us to maybe sell? I don't know. What do you guys want to do? But I'm going to leave it in your hands, because I do think we can handle it even if they do have firearms. It's only 6 of them. If we tie them up in melee combat, it doesn't matter what gun they have. So, you know what? I will load up the map, just because I do want to see distance. That does matter. So let me get that going real quick. We'll see if it'll tell us what faction they belong to, because that'll give us some indication as to what their equipment will be. And again, we'll gauge the distance and see if it's worth it. So the game is saying it's about 2 days on foot. That means that if we were to ride the horses, we could probably, I don't know, maybe have that. So about a day. So maybe this is probably closer to a round trip estimate. Of course, that's not including whatever time we spend there. But that isn't outside the realm of possibility. We do have a lot of pemmikins, so I think we could potentially pull that off. This is the outpost. The Southern Go-Wraithbow Covenant is the faction that holds this, and Aurora wants it destroyed. Again, there's 6 people guarding it, and I believe if we look at that faction, where are they? These guys here, Rough Outlander Union. So yes, there's a good chance that they will have guns. So it's entirely up to you guys. What do you think? We have 1,000 pemmikins, so certainly enough for 3 or 4 days out of the base. In fact, it would probably be a good idea to burn some of it, because it's starting to take up a lot of space in the stockpile. But I'll leave it to you. Should we do it? Should we not do it? I think we have enough horses to send everybody mounted. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So yeah, we could send 7 people mounted, or 6, just to do like one for every enemy. And we're not actually training the Muffalo, but we could potentially ride the Muffalo if we did train them. So that's something we might want to do. I'll train you for hauling as well. And I think we can actually, yeah, we could ride the dogs in a pinch if we really needed to. So we have enough mounts, we have enough food. It's just a matter of whether or not we should do it. Anyways, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.